Hey folks, Paul here with PatTech. Today we're going to be taking a look at the new Tamron 70 to 180mm f2.8 zoom lens to see if this might be something you'd like to add to your arsenal. This is my personal copy, bought and paid for by yours truly, so I thought I'd share my logic behind why I made this purchase. If you haven't visited my channel before, many thanks for stopping by, and I hope you find something of interest. If you'd be so kind as to hit that subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it. So with that out of the way, let's jump in. Okay, Tamron 70 to 180mm f2.8 zoom lens. What a really nice piece of glass, holy cow. That's nice, I know you don't care. So, why did I buy this lens? So right now I'm shooting on the 28 to 75mm Tamron lens, and I absolutely love it. I mean, you can't beat the value for the money. I mean, it's just amazing what you're getting for the price. The 70 to 180mm is $1,500 Canadian. And when you're looking at compared to the Sony 70 to 200, which is double the price, that's a ton of money. And for the 20mm you're losing on a long end, honestly, it doesn't make a difference to me. Now, I started out with Nikon shooting with D200s, and I was using this 70 to 200mm Sigma lens. Fantastic lens. This was back before, you know, face detection, that kind of stuff. But this thing is heavy. I wouldn't want to shoot a wedding with it. It's too heavy. I mean, you got this thing on your shoulder all day, you're going to know it. I always shot with it, and still do, on a tripod. That's the only way you're going to get really tack sharp results. So that's sort of where I'm coming from. But the reason to purchase this lens was on the low end. I've already got the Sony 24mm f1.4. So, I bought that thinking, okay, great. If I have that, I put it in super 35 mode, and I've got 24 and I've got 35. So, for shooting people, that's great. Got a 1.4 lens, I can do both of those ranges. I have a 50-1.8, and then I jump to the Viltrox 85mm 1.8 lens. But I was missing, something that would, here it comes, here's the big secret, compress the background. So I'm going to show you some images that will make it really clear to you why you'd want to have this lens if you already have the 28 to 75. The longer focal lengths, like the 35mm f1.8, the new one from Sony, that's a great lens, but again, you're paying double the price of something like this. And the build quality on this lens is pretty good. Yeah, guys will say it's plasticky, but honestly, if you look after your equipment, I mean, I use my equipment, this thing's got tons of scratches on it. I've had it for 10 or 15 years now, but I use my equipment. This thing's going to hold up really well for sure, so no worries there. So let's take a look at a couple of images now, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So first up is yours truly at 70mm with a Tamron 70 to 180, which is pretty good at about 15 feet away, and then you go to 180 with the same lens, and whoa, look at the background, just gets crushed to smithereens. 28 to 75 at 28, and then at 75 you've got nowhere near the background compression that you're getting from the 70 to 180, and that's what it's all about. Here's my 85mm Viltrox, and I saw something kind of interesting coming up. You'll see it in a second. Very nice background separation here. And then backing up 30 feet, you lose the separation a little bit, but still just gives you a kind of a comparison. And now look at these two lenses together. The Tamron 180 at f2.8 compared to the Viltrox at f1.8. And I think I like the color rendition better on the Viltrox. So as soon as I saw this, I thought, let's take these two images into Photoshop and color correct them. And so what you're looking at now are the same two images, only they've been color corrected, and you can see that the Tamron colors are a little bluer. I still like the Viltrox color rendition better, but interesting comparison for sure. In these two images, you'll get a really good sense of how the 180 compresses the background, especially when you look at the people furthest away and compared to the couple that's in the blue and the brown jacket in the middle. The image on the right really tells the story. You know, you can really see how the background is compressed and pulled forward, and that's partly the zoom, but that's the, you know, that's the major benefit of this type of a lens. This next image is a pretty good example as well of showing you what you're going to get at 70 millimeters compared to 180. I mean, it's pretty hard to beat that zoom factor for pulling the stuff that's far away right in close to you. Okay guys, that's going to wrap it up for this one. I realized that the review was not the most scientific review I've ever done, and it was never intended to be. I just wanted to give you guys a perspective on what you're going to get from the new Tamron 70 to 180 millimeter lens. You know, so that'll help you decide whether this is the lens for you or you need to keep on looking. I think that if you're like me and you're doing headshots and you like shooting people, I mean, you're going to love this lens. It's super lightweight. It's going to be a lot nicer if you're shooting weddings to carry around something that's a lot less weight than that, you know, my old clunky Sigma 70 to 200 millimeter lens for sure. And even the Sony f2.8 70 to 200 millimeter lens, I wouldn't want to lug that around at a wedding all day. But even with my Tamron 70 to 180 millimeter, if I'm doing headshots, I'm generally on a tripod anyway. So something to think about for you and your, you know, whether you're going to purchase this thing. So do me a favor, take care of yourselves. This COVID thing is no joke, and help me by hitting that subscribe button. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care now.